Hey everyone, just want to let you know ahead of time that this episode is going to be absolutely filled with personal jargon. Me and my friends have been playing this game for the better part of 3 years, so when we say things like Alus, El Yeek, Rame, the Seer, the Genesis Wave, that's something that we already have in mind. However, I understand to the audience, it may seem like we're just kind of too deep in our own world. And because we've been playing for 3 years, it would take a very long time for me to explain everything that's happened up to this point. However, we do have a recap episode planned out. It's more of an amorphous idea at this point, but we do want to provide something that will fill people in that haven't been sitting at the table with us for 3 years. So look forward to that, and in the meantime, bear with us. Lucy, last time we saw you, we were playing Champions of Rame. You guys fended off a attack from Protea, a group of bandits from the Thieves' Tower / the Feywilds. There's some complicated deep lore going on there. And your wish to the Seer was to figure out what was going on with Alus. Because
and restore them to their former glory.
Yes, because Alus went from a good, nice, full-bodied, top-shelf wine to tasting like Franzia wine. There was a severe quality drop in the magic. It was different. And so the Seer was like, I'm going to send you to a little town called Thane because one of my old friends is going to be there and he'll be able to help you out. And then he snapped his fingers and you find yourself in front of Thane. It is a pretty small town. Their structures make...
So it's like the feeling of magic kind of like in the Upside Down where it's different but the same?
I have only seen season 1 of Stranger Things.
Okay.
So maybe?
So like parallel universe different.
Yeah. It's like how in season 1 there was the pool.
Wait, like Mandela effect different.
Yeah. No. Because it's like everybody knew that this magic worked this way, and then the thing happened, and now it works differently, you know?
Okay.
So it's like Stranger Things in that in the regular world, in the pool where Barb died, it was just a regular pool. But in the Upside Down, it was still a pool, but there were like vines on it. But you could still be like, oh, that's that pool. It's just different.
Okay.
So yeah, you find yourself in front of Thane. It is a wooden town, structures made out of wood.
This is the town that Bader named, right?
Yeah, this is where he's from. There's like these javelins kind of like jutting out of the ground surrounding the town. And there's a big old gate there. What do you do?
So it's like a fort.
It's like a big fort, yes.
Okay, I've seen like medieval fortresses like this.
Mm-hmm. It's weird because it looks like a regular town, but then there's just like battlements around side.
No, it makes sense. They're like inside and within the... Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I've seen drawings.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
What do you do?
So,
Woo.
I guess I have to go up to the gate and see if I have to make a payment to go in or like, what do I gotta do?
You walk up to the gate and you see a guard who is standing in front of the gate, and he's got like both of his hands like to his chest as if he was like fist bumping himself, and he's standing in kind of like an A. It's a very powerful pose. What do you do?
Are these? No, wait, is the door just open?
No, the gates are closed.
I'll knock.
You go past this guard and you knock on the door, and as you do, she just like turns and looks at you and shoots you this glare. What do you do?
Ask them if I could gain entry into the town.
What business y'all got in Thane?
I gotta talk to... Who do I have to talk to?
The Seer never gave you a name.
Dang it.
He said, my friend is going to be there.
acquaintance of mine told me that there's someone here I should speak to.
Someone here that you should speak to, huh? Well, what's that person's name then, huh?
I wasn't told the name. It was kind of a quick situation, you know. It was kind of like, here's a quick name, I gotta run. You do your thing, and I'll do my thing right now. But, yeah.
She just continues to look at you kind of skeptic. And
Is there only one guard?
there's just one guard here, yeah. She looks at you and she just says, nah, that ain't gonna be nowhere near enough information for me to let you into my city.
It's your city?
Yes, well, not my city per se, but I protect it, so I call it my city, you know.
Is it a democratic city and you just protect it because the people have given you the power to protect it? Or is it like the monarch gave you the power to protect this area?
It's kind of strange. Roll history, actually.
Okay. Oh, don't have skill. It's int, right?
Yes.
-1.
Oh,
yeah.
boy!
Ooh, 15.
Okay. All right. You know that Thane is a weird mix of a monarchy, but also a democracy at the same time. It's pretty weird, and you don't know the specifics, but yeah, that's all you can figure out. And she says a little bit of both.
Okay. Well, I have a friend whose name is Thane.
You have a friend whose name is Thane. What's his name?
What was Bader's name?
Lucy has never met Bane.
Oh, I haven't?
No.
Damn it. Scratch that, sorry.
All right. She like raises an eyebrow at you.
I meant like retcon what I said. But still, like, I mean, what do I have to do to gain entry into the town? I just need to talk to someone.
Listen, we've had a pretty storied past here. We had some crazy people come in, try to take over the city. That's why we got all the ramparts and whatnot, protecting ourselves. So we got to be sure.
Yeah, it's very impressive.
It is, yes. Made by Sezu herself. She is a master craftsfolk. Regardless, though, we got to be real specific with the kind of people that we let in. And I don't know if you just saying you're looking for someone whose name you don't know is going to cut it.
Did the seer give me any more hints?
Nope. The seer just said there's a friend of mine who will be able to take you to the Astral Plane, basically.
The town that I came from is called...
Rame.
Rame, yes. Right, okay. Okay, so the seer from Rame sent me here to talk to someone, like one of his friends, to get advice. Do you know who the seer is from Rame? You've heard of Rame, right?
She like looks at you and she's like, of course I heard of Rame. It's a city up in the north-ish. But I ain't never heard of no... I can't lie to you, I have heard of the seer, I'm sorry. But it still seems...
I look hurt.
It still seems strange that he just kind of sends you out here and not even give you a name.
He's a busy man. He just sent me out here because I asked him a question. You know how sometimes if you do a favor for him, you can ask him a question and he like gives you an answer and then he goes back to what he's doing because he's a busy man.
Yeah. Yeah, good old... my uncle. Oh man, I had to do a lot of things for the seer to figure that shit out, but... Oh, I know what you mean. Roll persuasion.
Okay. Woo. +5.
Holy shit! Lucy, the good talker.
No! Can I roll again?
No. What did you get?
A 9.
The guard looks at you and she says, listen, to pull something from the seer himself, how's about you do me a favor and I'll let you into the city?
Depends on the favor. What's in the favor?
I need you. And she leans in real close. How do you feel about murder?
It's morally wrong.
So, if I asked you to kill somebody named Daltisk, would you?
I mean, who's even Daltisk?
Daltisk is somebody that lives in the city. She's been here longer than I can remember. But if I asked you to kill her, how would you respond?
Committed a serious crime that justifies this death penalty that you're suggesting as a guard and person who probably has power over them?
I can't tell you that. All I need to know is if I asked you to kill Daltisk, would you?
Do you have another task in your repertoire?
If I asked you to kill someone named Diamond, would you?
Is that the same person, just their last name?
No.
Oh, okay.
Daltisk's last name is, I don't think she has one.
Just Daltisk?
Yeah, as far as I know. She might have her own last name, but to be honest, I don't interact with her all that much.
Do you just have a bad relationship, or?
Can't tell you. All I need to know is if I asked you to kill her, would you do it?
Is this a metaphorical kill, like a political suicide type of kill? Or is this like blood on my hands as type of kill? Because, you know, some of that, like, I could justify maybe political assassination because, hey, the person can, like, build themselves up again, you know? But murder, is murder really necessary?
Listen, what did you say your name was?
Lucy.
Lucy
O'Connor.
Lucy O'Connor, huh? All I'm asking of you is, if I asked you to kill Daltisk, and that's all I'm saying in regards to that, would you do it?
I don't think I could. I'm sorry.
She, like, stands up and she, like, brings her hands, which have not left the fist bumping position, and she just, like, pulls them apart, and behind her the gates of pain open. She looks at you and she smiles and she says, "That's all I needed to hear." Yeah, you're free to go in right now.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Can I high five him?
Roll for high five.
I also rolled.
Holy shit! How does this play out?
We try to high five, but since I guess they're a really stern person, they're awkward about it. And since I'm a priesty person, it's almost like you know how you do the game like this?
Yeah.
It's like that, and then like
Perfect. Lucy.
But we bond over the social bad of what we just did.
She blushes and she just like immediately turns around and her hands are still up and she said, "Lucy, you need to get in that seat right now."
Okay, thanks.
You enter. You enter and the doors close behind you. You see, now that you're inside, a pretty magnificent looking town. The wooden architecture here is entirely unassuming, or nowhere near as unassuming as it was from the outside. You get the feeling that some kind of magic is keeping this town's true brilliance from being seen from the outside. You see a massive structure near the center of the city, it looks like a big old church. And around there are...
Wait, what type of church?
Roll religion.
It's gonna be one of the old churches, because it just happened. 20 net. Wait, plus 8. 28.
Holy shit. You know that this is not a church to Alus, nor is it a church to El'Yik, but it is a church nonetheless.
So it's a new church?
It has only been a few minutes. Actually, no, it's been a day since that's happened.
So it was built in a day?
No, it is not. You can also tell that the architecture is old.
Do I know of which god?
With the 20, I'll say you get the feeling that this wasn't a church meant for an archetypal god.
A concept of a god.
Yes.
Like capitalism.
Not like capitalism. More like industrialism.
Okay.
You see flying around the city these little the best way I could describe it are ornithopters. Do you know what those are? They're from magic.
I'm sorry.
They're like these little planes that just like fly around and they carry messages to people.
Like hoverboard? No.
Basically drones.
No, drones.
Like fantasy drones. And you also see a big building, a couple different big buildings that are like just jutting off steam. What do you do?
So it's an industrial city.
Mm-hmm. Imagine England during the Industrial Revolution. cobbled streets, except the buildings are stone, or buildings are wood.
Is there a bunch of poor people in the streets? Is that happening?
Nope.
Okay.
There is roll with a 20. You know that this place doesn't really have any like terribly egregious wealth disparity.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a pretty good place for the most part.
Can I tell what the other buildings jutting off are?
Yeah, you know that one of them is a... Actually, I want you to roll investigation.
Is that in?
Yes.
Three.
You know that one of these might be a place to sleep, but other than that, you've never seen buildings like this before.
And the rest are houses.
Mm-hmm. So it's like houses, big old church, industrial-looking building, industrial-looking building, industrial-looking building, place that looks like you could sleep.
How late is it in the day?
We'll say it's just about 4:20 p.m. Blaze it.
There's still time.
You hear a little kid run by you and say, "Blaze it."
I gave him. It's a good sign.
What do you do?
Is there a bar?
Where would you check for a bar?
Where I hear the most rowdiness.
Roll perception.
20, but not net.
Okay. You walk around the streets of Thane, and you see a pretty decently sized building, and there's a lot of conversation, and you hear like glass rattling on the inside. There's only one door, and it's also only one story. What do you do?
You can just walk in.
You can try.
I'll try to walk in.
Okay. You open the door, and you see just... You see a couple dozen figures all like backed up against the wall, and they're dressed incredibly elegantly. There is one figure who's just kind of like standing in the center of the room, wearing basically a clown hat with like jingle bells on it. And you see that each of the people, huh?
A juggalo?
Not like a fantasy juggalo, yes. And you see that each of the individuals are holding these like small jars of this orange liquid.
Fuego.
Yes, it's Fago. It's Fago. The clown looks at you and they say, "What? What do you want?"
Do any of you know the seer? From name?
One very timid-looking individual whose face is like hidden behind a crow mask walks up and says, "I know the seer."
Do you know them like quite well, or?
Yes, we were brothers.
Wait, what?
We're brothers.
Like literal brothers?
Like literal brothers. Like I
Like
came out
soul?
of this. No, like actually literal brothers.
Do you mind if we have a quick talk?
The figure looks around and he says something in... What languages do you speak?
Common and celestial.
Okay. He says something in a language that kind of sounds like... which is a language that you've heard a lot of these past few days.
Wait, what is it?
He's speaking Sylvan.
Oh, okay.
Remember how all the
Yeah.
Dark Elves would speak in what was? He lets out a little call in Sylvan, and he looks back at you and he says, "Yes, of course I can."
So we will talk somewhere that is relatively private?
He like walks you outside and begins to just like casually walk around Thane. He's wearing this like really elegant outfit. He's got these like velvet blue slacks and a just kind of a bright white t-shirt. You can tell it's made of cotton, but it's still like bright white for some reason. It doesn't make any sense.
Fluorescent white?
Fluorescent white, yes. It's almost obnoxiously white. So what brings you here?
The seer sent me here after I asked him like, I helped him, and he gave me information on my question. You know how he does that? And I asked him about how to restore Alice's power because it feels different to me.
As soon as you say restore Alice's power, he, like, stops in his tracks, and he, like, looks at you. And he says, what do you mean restore Alice's power?
Well, it feels different because I use their magic to, you know, help people.
Okay.
Do you know anything about that?
Not really, no.
As his brother, like...
I don't really delve into the whole holy elements and whatnot, and the seer and I we're not really on the best of speaking terms.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, it's quite a shame. Where are you going to be staying?
I haven't had a place to stay yet. I found a place to stay yet. I just got here.
Have you been to the inn just yet?
No.
Okay. Well, when you go, do tell them that Milko says hello.
Milko?
Yes.
How do you spell your name?
Like the drink and the letter O.
Milko, that's a good name.
Thank you. My mother gave it to me.
Wait, is the seer's name actually Seer?
Excuse me?
The seer's name, is it actually Seer?
Yes.
Okay. But before you talked about the inn, you were gonna say something?
Huh?
Before we talked about the inn, you were gonna say something.
What do you mean?
About how the magics that you do?
I don't do magic.
I put a thinking face on.
He takes a step back.
Do you know anyone that I could talk to about astral stuff?
Yes, the barkeep. Her name is and he like looks around. Cobble Blade.
Did you just make that up?
No.
Okay. Cobble Blade. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be rude. I was just like, it's a very powerful name, you know? It's like naming yourself The Rock or something. It's just...
Yes. I could only imagine the raw power of somebody named The Rock. Incredible. Mayhaps they would even ask what's cooking. However, baby. He like picks up a cat that's nearby and puts it on the ground.
Is there just a lot of cats everywhere?
There's just a lot of cats. No. There are a couple street cats. He looks back at you and he says, listen, do you have any traveling compatriots or anybody who, you know, hangs out with you?
No, they kind of just went on their ways. I'm here on my own.
All right.
Is the barkeeper at the inn?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Well,
What were you doing earlier?
don't worry about it.
Okay, cool. Have fun.
He like turns around and quickly shuffles away.
Can I roll perception?
On what?
On why they were like that?
Roll insight.
Okay. Int, my best skill.
Insight is wisdom.
Okay. That's 7.
Milko's just weird.
Okay. The seer is also weird, so I guess it makes sense. I try to find the inn. What?
I'm just laughing at this thing that I'm birthing into the world.
The Fago?
Yes. There's actual juggalos now. You get into...
I don't know if I helped you with world building with my constant interruptions of how I see what you're describing.
Sometimes it helps. This definitely helped. This good. This is real good. I've made something new and incredible. You see the building that Fago had pointed towards when he mentioned...
Wait, his name's not Fago, it's Milko.
It's not Fago, I'm sorry, Milko.
But you could name someone Fago.
No, Fago is something else at this point. Milko, you see the building that Milko pointed to you, and you know, or you see that it's the 2-story building that you kind of got the feeling that you could sleep in here.
Okay.
You go in and you see behind the counter is a dragonborn. She has these like ocean blue scales, and she's currently drawing something from the tap for a patron at the bar, who is the only person here aside from her. What do you do?
Can I read the atmosphere?
How do you want to do that?
Get a feel for what's the tone of the bar, because you know how some bars and places have a certain tone. Like some are like homey, other places are here. There's like lights that are zooming in and out sometimes, or something. I don't know. I don't really go to bars. I just know there's certain feels to places.
Roll insight.
As whiz, yeah.
Yes.
10.
With a 10, you get the looking around the room. You catch the feel of latent exhaustion. You know that this is a very, very like with how industrious Thane is. Most workers come here after like a hard day's work and just like complain about having worked as hard as they did. You can tell that the barkeep has kind of a somber look on their face as they hand this pint to the patron whose head is down. It's not great vibes.
Okay. So I can't be super good lucky. I have to match the vibe. Okay. I go up to the bar but not sit in one of the stools. Just like make the appearance that I'm going to ask a question. Or like, do they have an area where you would check in or something?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so I just go up to the bar, but not making it seem like I want to sit down and drink. Maybe I should.
As you walk up to the bar, you see the barkeep say something in kind of a rough, coarse language that you're not familiar with. The figure responds in the same language. She then turns to you and she says, "Can I get for you?" That's not the right accent. What can I get for? No. Aye, British. What can I get for you? I'm Ringo.
So I'm new in town.
Are you about to tell me that you're... No, that's... I need to work on my accents. She just nods.
I need a place to sleep, but I also was talking to someone else from this town, and they mentioned that you knew some stuff about astral planes and communications.
I don't know. Oh, no!
Wait. Are you Cobbleblade?
Who?
Are you Cobbleblade?
Don't know anybody by that name.
Oh man, I was lied to.
Yes, a lot.
Do you know anyone who knows about astral planes?
She puts a hand to her chin for a second as she thinks. Can't say I do. We're pretty humble here.
Milko's the worst.
Milko's fucking terrible. I hate Milko.
They're not even the seer's brother, probably.
You don't know. Time will tell. She looks at you and she says, "Can't say I know anybody who knows anything about the Astral Plane."
When do you close this bar?
We don't really close.
Okay, I'll come back later, maybe for a room. But
Alright.
I want to try to find this out.
Can do.
Okay. Thanks.
She nods.
I go to the church.
You enter the church, or you go up to this church, and you can see that it is large and pointy. It looks like, is this the image I have in my head? Big church.
Different types of churches.
It looks like...
You could look for a Southern Baptist church because Juggalo stuff.
It looks like that.
Ooh, pointy.
Yeah, pointy. You can see that near the top of it there is this magnificent stained glass portrait
Of what?
of just a figure. They have a very, very long beard, a long gray beard, and these like piercing blue eyes. They are human, and they look to be quite old.
Do they look related to the seer?
Roll history.
But I've seen the seer.
Roll history. With advantage.
Is that int?
Int.
Yes, okay. 4 and 18.
You know that this figure isn't related to the seer. The facial structure is a little bit different. It's more square to the seer's roundness.
I didn't know the seer was round.
The seer kind of has like a round face, yeah. The seer is very soft.
Okay. It's more like Santa.
Yeah, more like Santa. You see two guards standing in front of this gate, each with their hands to their chest doing the self-fist bump thing.
Oh, wait. What was the other guard's name?
You never asked.
Damn it. I feel bad. I should have asked. I go back to the front gate.
You go back to the front gate. What do you do?
I was like, hey, I never asked you your name. What's your name?
The gate is closed right now.
Oh.
You probably have to knock.
But I'll knock and
Okay.
open it and ask them that.
Okay, you knock and the gates come open a little bit, and she leans back and she says, "What do you need?" Oh, it's Lucy. Oh God! Oh God! Oh God! I'm sorry about the fist bump. It was really whatever it was.
Cool. I just realized I don't know your name, and I should probably figure that out.
Lusitania.
Lusitania?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we both start with Luz.
How about that shit?
I go in for a fist bump.
Oh boy, you roll for fist bump.
Is that athletics?
No. We'll say it's charisma.
Okay, 17.
Okay, she got a 15. It's a pretty solid fist bump, and she like looks at her hand and she's like, you know what, I'm gonna stick with that from now on instead of doing the high five thing. Lusitania, nice to meet you.
Okay, thank you. And I go back out.
Okay.
It's called Thane City or just Thane?
Just Thane.
Okay. Okay, I go back to the church.
You're standing in front of the church. There are two guards here.
I greet them.
They both just kind of give you a solid nod.
I ask, should I knock or can I just go in?
Well, that's your business.
I just want to see what this church is about.
This ain't really no church nowadays. Maybe a long time ago, but them times done passed. This is headquarters of Thane. It's where Doan Thane is. You know, the Thane.
So it's like a museum?
No, it's like a government building. This is where all of our like political shit goes on. Who are you?
My name's Lucy O'Connor.
They like raise an eyebrow at you for a little bit. Lucy O'Connor, huh? I see. Well, welcome to Thane. Do you have a meeting with the Thane?
Well, that's why I was wondering if you guys had tours or something to talk to people at the government, because sometimes government should be transparent to people.
Typically, one of the guards leans close and they like. Typically, I think government should be pretty open, but that's not the way things work here.
That's too bad.
Yeah, quiet. Listen. We're already closed for tours today. Might be worth it if you check in next Sunday. We only really do them once a week.
Oh.
But if you have a letter or something, I can pass it off to the Thane later.
Okay, well, let me write down something real quick.
All right.
I take out a piece of paper and write something down. Should I get a piece of paper and actually write something down?
There you go.
Okay, that's gonna be my best handwriting ever. Okay, and then I fold up the letter and do a little wax seal stamp, because that's what they did back then, and as a way to ensure the letter hasn't been opened unless...
We'll say that you have, you're like an 11th level paladin, so you probably have like a little device that has like wax on one end, and then you like stick it into this like little thing that you hold on to, and then you press a button, and then like heats up with like holy energy, and like it makes it melt, and then it's just like an A on the little wax stamp.
Okay.
The guard takes a letter and says, "Well, thank you kindly for
Wait. I have to write something else down. I'm sorry. I gotta redo this. I didn't write down where I was.
Roll persuasion."
7.
All right. Make it quick. I'm almost on my lunch break.
Postscript, which is also short for PS. Wait, other way around.
Other way
Switch
around.
that. I'm guessing that's the only N, and I hope if it's not. What's the N called?
Workers' respite. No, that's fucking stupid.
The yodeler.
This bar is named, this bar is named the Left Baboon.
The left
Baboon.
baboon in there. Please ignore my scribbles as well as my lack of spelling and my bad handwriting. Thank you.
The guard just kind of nods his head.
Oh, and I, seal it up all
Yeah.
of it.
You like you undo the seal and you like pull the letter out, you throw it away, pull out another letter. A little bit of time has passed now. It's getting to be later afternoon. The sky has turned an orangish color. What do you do?
Oh, I asked them. Wait, do they look annoyed with me today? Huh?
They do look a little frustrated.
Okay, I was like, thank you for your time. I appreciate it. I'm gonna go to the inn. Goodbye.
The guards just kind of like nod.
Okay, so I go to the inn.
All right. You go back into the Left Baboon. The barkeep is still there. The patron has added 2 other pints, or empty pints, to his growing collection.
Is Alice against drinking?
No.
Okay. I guess I'll have Lucy drink.
It's 5 o'clock in Thane.
Yeah. So, I don't know if I want to sit too close to the person because I don't know them, so I'll sit at a respectable distance away. That's still approachable, but, not like I'm deliberately trying to be far away from them.
Okay. You sit at the end of the table and the barkeep comes up to you. She asks, "What are you going to be having?"
What do you have?
I've got beer. And that's it.
Well, I guess I'll have beer.
She turns around and she pours you a pint from the tap and slides it over. She holds out a hand and she says, "That'll be 5 gold."
I give them 5 gold.
Thank you kindly.
Wait, I need to find where my gold stack is. I have 11 followers in the Thames Tower, an extra gummy, 34 small ballast books, items, just a bunch of books I'm working on. Can still talk to Alus and anti-magic, and I don't know where I put my money. Wait.
Does it say I don't know where I put my money on the sheet?
Whack-a-mole things. Okay, I don't know where I've put my money.
I may not have given it to you.
Okay.
You give her 5. You give her 5 gold.
Okay.
You start taking a drink. What do you do?
I asked the barkeep look conversational?
Yeah, they look really bored.
Do I know what a juggalo is?
No.
Do I know what, like, face paint, but putting... I know what a jester is, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I asked them, do you know about the group that dresses up like king's jesters and gathers around as a gathering? Is it like a gathering of jesters?
As soon as you say that, her eyes kind of like shoot widely, and she says, "Never heard of them?
You never seen jesters around town?
Not once."
It's very odd.
Well, we're a pretty normal town, Thane. I don't think anybody would be interested in, being a jester. Things of that nature.
I mean, the only way, I found this inn, well, besides, seeing it far away, on some gesture-like. I don't want to say gesture exactly, because they had, like, a crow mask or something. Directed me over here and told me.
As soon as you say crow mask, you can see that she begins to beads of sweat begin to appear in her forehead.
Directed me here, so yeah. You've never heard of anything like that?
Not at all, no. Sounds right weird.
Could I roll insight?
Yes.
Is whiz, right?
Mm-hmm.
16.
She's lying.
Have you ever gone to a tour of the Thane building?
Not really, no. I haven't really put that much thought into whatever goes on in that building. Not really my steez.
I guess it's good that they have a tour since it's a historical building, from what I understand, right?
It is the oldest building here.
It's the oldest?
Mm.
When was it built?
Time immemorial, friend. I can't even remember.
I remember how old the rock looked.
You got a 20 with that history, so you can tell that the rock is over 500 years old.
Oh, okay. So older than the U.S. government.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know Lucy Tana? What was her name? The guard's name?
Huh?
The guard's name?
Lusitania.
Lucy Tanya. Okay, I should put a little yeah so they say it pronounced.
There should be an inye in there, but there's no inye in English, which
okay.
Sucks.
So I asked them if they know about Lucy Tanya.
She looks at you and she says, "Yeah, she comes around here every now and again."
They're good at guarding the city. They gave a little puzzle, not a puzzle, like a type of riddle,
Mm-hmm.
or a riddle for your morals.
Really? A moral riddle?
Yeah.
What did you have to do?
Well, I just had to answer whether or not I could kill someone.
And would you?
No, I said no.
Okay.
And they let me pass, so.
Yeah, she's good at what she does, that's for sure.
But it's like a mind trick for people who don't. It's good job, guys.
She kind of smiles and she says, "I'll be sure to let her know." So, what brings you here anyway?
Wait, I already told you, didn't I?
Did you? I'm sorry, I've had a lot. No, I haven't had anything to drink. It's just been a long day.
Sometimes the beer just pours in through your skin.
Exactly. Like breathing as a frog. Anyway, remind me again.
So I explained to her what I told Lucy Tanya. I tell her what I told Lucy Tanya.
As soon as you say that, the figure at the bar looks up at you and looks you in the eye and he says, "Lucy? Are you Lucy?"
Yeah. I mean, there's also Lucy Tanya, so I don't know if you're confusing me with them because maybe they have also a short name to Lucy.
No. Lucy from Rame. You're one of the champions there, right? You work for the fucking What's his name? You worked for Samarius, defending the city, and you want to go to the Astral Plane or whatever?
I mean, if you just listen to the conversation, I did just say that, so yeah.
Yes. Listen. Listen here. You can see that his eyes you can clearly see that he is very drunk at this point, and his eyes are kind of like a washed gray. He has a pretty hefty beard, and he's got the wideness of a Shire folk. I changed halflings to Shire folk.
Oh, cute. I like it.
Because I can't say hobbit, but I also don't like how humanocentric it is. So there's Shire folk now.
Okay.
Wait, no. He's not a Shire folk. He's a dwarf.
A dwarf. Okay.
Mm-hmm. He's got like bluish skin and these gray bluish eyes and like a big white beard.
Oh, like an underground.
Kinda, yeah.
Okay.
Ooh.
So we kind of look like an underground dwarf,
A little bit, yeah. He looks
evil.
like a Snurf Neeblin.
but not evil.
But not evil.
He doesn't have that glaze where he wants to eat you.
Correct. He looks like this.
Like Voldemort? No, that's not
Here. For those of you listening at home, I'm imagining Brock from the new God of War game, except with white hair.
But he's not scowling at me.
But he's not scowling. He's just...
He's just drunk.
He's just drunk.
Does he have hair at the top, or is just beard?
Bald.
I mean, that's what happens sometimes, right? When you go bald, you just grow a beard.
He's got two beards. One goes up and one goes down. No, he's bald.
So I let them try to tell me what they're saying. I guess there's no water for me to offer them, right?
I guess you could get water.
Could I offer them water?
Yeah. You look at the barkeep and, did you ask her name?
No, what's your name?
You didn't ask. You straight up just asked. She looks at you and she says, Bergensfjord.
Bergensfjord. That's a cool name.
Thank you.
Should we get our friend here some water?
She looks at him and he's just like kind of swaying and it looks like he's thinking of something. And she looks back at you and she says, I think I'll be fine.
Okay.
He pipes up again and he's like, Lucy, you're trying to go to the Astral Plane because of the whole Alus thing, right?
Yeah, it just feels weird.
Yeah, I mean, weird doesn't even begin to fucking explain. I don't want to.
It just doesn't feel right. So do you understand how the magic feels?
Yes, I do. Better than most folk. Here, give this thing a little flip. And he like pulls out a coin from his pocket and he hands it over to you.
I give it a flip.
You flip it.
I should have probably investigated this first. Too late.
You flip it and you die. You flip it and nothing happens.
Do I get heads or tails?
You get tails.
I got tails.
What do you think? Oh, fuck. I forgot. Okay, so here's what you have to do. Fuck, God damn it, Samarius. You really have to do things like this.
Wait, do you recognize the name Samarius?
Huh?
Do I recognize the name Samarius?
Roll history.
Okay. I didn't mean to say that as in character. I meant to say that as me, Jennifer, the person. History is in? 14.
No.
Okay.
He's like, God damn it, Samarius. You have to... So, let me give you a brief rundown. In order for us to get to the Astral... Well, you to get to the Astral Plane, you're gonna need a couple of different things. You're gonna need, what is it? A fucking circle of, like, metal, like a hula hoop or something. A perfect prism, and a conduit from the Astral Plane. Or something that has, like, really strong ties to it. If Samarius was here, he'd be able to get you something real quick, but he's not. So, instead, when you have the coin, think of something from the Astral Plane, and it should point you towards it.
towards the astral plane?
It'll point you towards something from the astral plane, because you need a conduit, something from the astral plane to get you over there from here. It's like a whole ritual thing, and you just flip the coin and think of the astral plane.
So I need a hula hoop metal.
Yes, a metal hula hoop.
Conduit of the astral plane.
Yes, which that coin will help you find.
And what's the third thing?
A perfect prism.
A perfect prism. Can anything truly be perfect?
Yes. Now flip the coin. We're gonna get some more of this stuff. They don't make it like they do back home.
Where's home?
Don't worry about it. Just go, get on, flip the coin, think of the astral plane.
I think of the astral. Wait. I look at the coin and roll investigation.
Roll investigation.
On the coin, as I should have done first. This Antia.
Yes.
If only Logan's character was here.
Oh no, bro. There's a. With the 6, we'll say that the coin looks like it's coated in gold. There's an umbrella on one side, and on the other side there's an upside down umbrella. But because it's a coin, it doesn't really make any sense. But that's what you see with the 6.
I'll flip it and think of something from the astral plane, specifically more geared towards Alus.
Okay. You flip the coin, and you see kind of like vague figures. It's like you're seeing something's heat signature, but you're able to see it through the walls. You can't really determine anything out here, or from where you're at, but you know that if you took a step outside of the left baboon, you might be able to find something a little bit easier.
But what am I looking for?
A conduit to the astral plane.
Okay, can I turn to Drunk Man?
He's downing another pint.
What's your name?
Hagenti. The name's Hagenti.
Hagenti.
With 2 A's, Haagenti. Don't forget the 2 A's. Hagenti was my father. Fuck him.
Sometimes you need to do that.
Exactly. Sometimes you need to fuck your... He finishes his drink. Go on and leave.
I mean, how do you know I needed the coin?
An old friend told me to be here, and I am.
Is that the man you were mentioning?
Yes.
What's their name again?
Roll persuasion.
I can persuade. I got a +5. 18.
I guess I said his name, huh? It starts with the letter S. That's all I'll give you.
Mr. S?
It starts with the letter S. He's got like a full name, but go find your coin, Lucy. The astral plane is waiting for you.
Did I get their gender pronoun right?
Who?
For person S?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna write down Mr. S because I don't remember it. It's a really long name.
He orders 2 more beers and just kind of like double fists them.
Can I ask Hagenti one more question?
You can try, but he probably won't respond.
Is Mr. S still in the city?
He like slams both of his pints down and he looks at you and he says, Now leave me be! And he just goes back to double fisting the drinks. Alright, so you step outside of the left baboon.
I try to be discreet in my coin flipping. I don't want it to be stolen, you know?
Yeah. You step outside of the left baboon, and you see that there's like an immense radiance coming from the direction of the church in the city. It's like overwhelmingly strong. It hurts to look at. Even though like what you're seeing when you flip the coin is just like a magical projection, it still kind of hurts. You also see off in another distance, which leads outside of town, a smaller light. This one, you can look at it.
So there's a really, really bright light, and then a smaller one outside the city.
Yes.
What time is it?
We'll say it's like 6:30 at this point.
Does it look like within the walking distance?
Yes.
Well, I can't go to the church yet. And I have a feeling that sending that letter might have been a bad idea now. And I wish I could gather more intel about the Thane building. Well, I feel like Lusitania and me are in pretty good terms, so maybe they'll let me back in. But I'm gonna go up to the front gates again and knock and ask them if they have or if she's gonna rotate out in her position soon, or if there's a what's the word for curfew? If there's a curfew.
There ain't really no curfew here, but I ain't gonna be here for much longer. I'm getting to the end of my shift, and I got a family to go home to.
Why? Do you live in the city?
Yeah, I do. Of course I live in the city. I'm a guard.
Well, maybe you wear out sorts. I don't know.
Yeah, no. I live here.
Do you live near the inn?
Yeah, I live right behind it, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is there little houses behind the inn?
There's little houses, yeah.
Okay. You have a big family?
Don't worry about that.
Okay. Do you think I could go look at something outside the city and then come back in?
What you gonna go look at?
I saw a brighter light outside, so I thought maybe you could look at it.
A brighter light?
It's just part of my magic, so...
Oh, okay, magic, huh? Well, good for you. Yeah, go ahead. I'll go ahead and raise the flag so that they'll let you back in.
Okay. Do I need to give you my full name? Wait, you already know my full name.
Hey, Lucy O'Connor.
So the next guard just might let me back in? Or?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
I'll make sure she does, or I'll fight her. Put her in the goddamn ground. Fucking Vaderland. Anyway.
I'm sure you would beat them.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks. I'll go out and look at this light.
Okay. You go out. You head south for a little while. You've been walking for about 15 minutes, and you realize you're about halfway there. You see barely on the distance what this figure is. They appear to be...
Wait, it's an actual person?
Yes. What you see is a figure that's kind of in the middle of a river, and they're flowing downstream. You can see them moving their hands at something, but you can't quite see what that is just yet.
But I can only see it when I flip the coin.
Yes, you flip the coin, you think of the Astral Plane, and it's a delayed brightness for 30 seconds.
But when I'm not flipping the coin, there's no figure.
When you're not flipping the coin, do you have dark vision?
I don't think so.
Yeah, when you're not flipping the coin, it's very, very, very hard to make the figure out. You barely can.
But there is a figure there.
Yes.
Okay. I'll go down to this river, but cautiously. Can I roll for preparedness?
Roll stealth.
I mean, I don't want to startle them, but... Okay, this Dex. Yes, okay. Dex. 10.
Okay. You... Wait, what armor are you wearing?
My AC is 18.
You have disadvantage on stealth because you're probably wearing scale mail.
Okay. So
10. Okay. You crouch down in this late afternoon, early evening light, and you begin moving closer to the figure on the river. And you see that getting closer, they're basically on a little gondola. That's what they're called, right?
Oh, like those long boats?
Yeah, like a long boat, and they're just moving it around with a stick. And at the other end of the stick is like a bright continuous flame that you didn't notice until you were closer. The figure is dressed in all like tattered leathered robes, and you can't really see their face. You hear whistling though.
Can I flip the coin discreetly?
Yes. You flip the coin and you see that this figure lights up with astral energy.
The person does.
The person does, yes.
Whoa. And do they have any light?
Any light?
Like around them to see?
Just what's, like, it's weird because, like, as soon as you got closer to it, you saw the end of their, like, ore, like, light up with a flame. But other than that, it doesn't look like they do.
What are they carrying in the long canoe thing?
It's just them, as far as you can tell.
I yell out hello.
In
a friendly manner.
As soon as you say that, the figure just kind of, like, stops. Everything attached to them stops. The entire boat, the oar, even the flames flickering at the top of it, and they slowly, like, crack their neck back towards you. And you see a skeletal-looking figure. Their face is very, very withered. You can clearly see their skeletal structure. And they have, like, this dim flickering in their eyes. You see that even though their mouth remains closed, you can hear whistling still. And you hear a voice in your head say, "Hello, what can I do for you on this fine night?"
I was just wondering if you knew that you glowed in the inside?
All of us glow on the inside.
That's a very positive thought. I mean, do you have any connections to a god or anything like that?
Not so much as you have a connection to a king. I am from the Astral Plane.
Wow.
Right?
How'd you get down here?
I don't know.
So you kind of just popped in here one day?
Mm-hmm.
Do you like it down here?
Anywhere that I can find new adventure is great.
They seem really friendly.
What is your name?
Wait, before I give it out, do you have any bad intentions?
No.
Okay, give him my name.
What?
I roll insight.
Okay.
That's int, right? Is it int?
Whiz.
Okay. It's 10.
You can't tell. I simply want to see the world. As I mentioned before, I am an adventurer. What is your name?
I give him my name.
What is your name?
Lucy O'Connor.
Ah, I see. My name is Marin. And as soon as they say that, they begin to, like, walk towards you. But it's weird. They, like, let go of the oar, which is still, like, frozen in space. And they just, like, walk towards you on top of the water, leaving the gondola and the oar there. And they get closer to you, and you can kind of just feel this energy radiating off of them.
Okay, is it bad energy or good energy?
You can tell that it is... It reeks of El Yeek. It's got that El Yeek reek.
They're gonna not like me, are they?
I don't know. As they get closer to you, you see that the gondola and the oar just kind of, like, disappear behind them.
Wait, are you controlling the appearance of the gondola and the fire thingy? Because when I got close, that turned on, so...
It was to let me know if there was someone nearby who worships Alus.
Are you against that?
No.
Can I roll insight?
Yes.
Man, I gotta prepare to run. Insight's whiz, right?
Yes.
I just asked this a minute ago. 15.
You get the feeling that there is some truth to their word, but you still get the feeling that there is a little bit of hesitance and, Marin wasn't exactly lying, but she wasn't exactly telling the whole truth.
Okay, so like I get if you're a little bit against Alice because like everyone has a favorite food. I imagine this is like Alice isn't your favorite flavor, but you wouldn't do anything bad to someone who likes Alice, right?
Only if they did something bad to me.
Oh, okay. I mean that seems pretty fair.
Hmm.
Can I roll insight?
Yes.
12.
Yeah, she's probably telling the truth.
Man. I was like, have you been to the city of Thane?
I have not been to Thane, no.
Are you interested about visiting?
Yes, it's a new place. It brings new adventures. I seek adventure.
They seem to have like a really old church, like a 500-year-old church.
Hmm.
But like, they changed. It's like more of a government building. It's very strange.
Strange indeed. Have they any wonders or anything like that? Mayhaps treasure?
I think they just have the church, but they give tours every Sunday, so you could wait. Wait, what's the day of the week?
It is Monday.
So you would have to wait a week to get a tour. But I did send a letter, like asking if I could get someone to talk to, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And could I roll insight on that?
That mm-hmm?
Yes.
Sure.
13.
She's genuinely interested in the procedure of, like, interacting with this big amount of astral energy in pain.
Cause I sense like some big astral energy there too. I don't know if you've sensed it. Do you sense it?
Do you sense the power of a knight?
Yeah, they're pretty muscly sometimes, so I guess you can.
She just kind of like glares off into the distance for a second, and
Okay,
she looks back at you, and she says, "No."
What do you mean?
I cannot.
Oh, okay.
I cannot.
So you were joking. I'm sorry.
Yes, I'm still quite bad at this whole jokes thing.
I mean, it's a skill.
Thank you.
You just have to practice. Sometimes you can go to like comedy clubs and you can, practice there.
She takes a like very bony finger and like it lights up at the end in like a bright sparky red, and she writes the word comedy club in the air and then like waves a hand through it. I will remember this comedy club. Now.
These exist, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Where to?
I guess. Do you want to look at the big astral energy that I sensed in the city with me?
I mean, part of me does, yes, but part of me just wants to go on another adventure. But I guess this is an adventure in its own right. Roll persuasion.
Okay. 10?
Why did you come to find me, Lucy?
I mean, I was kind of interested in why there was some astral energy outside the city.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, oh, hey, what's up with that, Kind of like, when you're just a curious person sometimes. Like, curiosity leads you to somewhere,
She, like, looks you up and down. Sounds good enough to me.
Was she sensing my insight?
Maybe.
Okay.
She just looks at you and she says, "So, to Thane?"
Can other people sense you?
I suppose they could.
Do they see you like as how I see you right now?
Yes.
I think other people might find you intimidating. I hope that doesn't bring up anything, but I think we could pass through.
I do believe we will be fine.
Okay.
I should mention that she has not moved about this entire time.
Do you want to maybe wear a cloak? I think it would help.
You're hurting my feelings.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We shall go, and if it presents a problem, I shall resolve it.
Okay. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings.
Your apology is welcome.
Okay. Can I roll insight?
Yes. And then Jen learned about the power of insight rolls.
23.
She genuinely appreciates the apology.
Okay. What are their intentions, though?
You don't know.
Okay, not even with a 23?
Nope.
Okay, so I guess we walk back to Thane together with my skeletal buddy.
As you're what's your passive perception?
Is that my...
10 plus whatever your perception score is.
18?
18?
Yeah.
Okay.
It says plus 8. Plus 8 in perception?
You have 8 in perception?
Yeah.
Ah, damn. Okay. As you're walking back to Thane, you notice that nothing under her, like, robes tend to be, or you can't really tell anything is moving down there. It doesn't look like she's walking. She's just kind of, like, gliding over the ground. You also notice that every now and again she's kind of, like, shattering. She'll go, like...
Are you cold?
Yes.
I mean, do you want me to give you something to keep warm, or...?
I will be fine.
Okay. Can I roll insight on that?
Yes!
I just have uneasy energy, but also Lucy doesn't seem like the type that would just, slight someone. 18.
You can tell that she's a little cold. But she's putting on a brave face.
Okay.
Because she wants to seem cool.
Okay, but I kind of want to explain how I'm seeing the two of them. So I'm kind of imagining them as this super edgy goth kid walking with some churchy kid, towards the campus.
Just like, oh my god, somebody in these like cultist robes walking next to somebody that's basically wearing like a preacher's outfit, but like an armored preacher. This is very good.
Okay.
This is really very good.
But like the church kid that is like trying to be nice and like doesn't want to be mean, because they're a church kid.
Yeah.
But like the edgy goth kid doesn't want to have the other person run away, so they're kind of just acting also politely, and it's this awkward interaction. Okay, this is how I'm imagining.
Good.
Okay, so we walk up to the gates. Is it still Lusitana?
No. You see standing at the gate now is another individual that is kind of like standing there with their hands in the south fist bump in front of their chest again. They're just kind of standing there vigilantly. There are 2 lights that are lit on either side of the front gate at this point.
Oh, why are there 2 lights?
Because it's dark now.
Oh, okay. I go up to them and say, "Hello, I'm Lucy O'Connor. I went outside real quick to get my companion here, Marion. Could we pass through?"
Companion who?
Companion, Marion.
Marin. M-E-R-R-E-N.
Marion.
Marin.
Okay, I pronounce it correctly.
The guard looks at you and says,
Can we pass through? I mean, did lose?
Yeah, Lusitania told me about you, but she didn't mention nobody else. You said this person's name is Marin? And she looks at Marin and kind of like raises an eyebrow. Marin just doesn't say anything. They're just like staring straight ahead at the gate.
Marin's cool.
I mean, Marin looks like dead.
Okay.
That is what the guard says.
I don't think you should judge from outside appearances. It's a little rude,
Roll persuasion.
Okay. Please be a 20. Please be a 20. Please be a 20. Can I roll with advantage?
No.
15.
Now, listen. I agree. What I said was mean, and I apologize for what I done spoke about your good friend, who definitely does not look like somebody straight out of a grave. However, I need to I gotta make sure that my city is safe. So, I know who you are. So you can go on in. And she,
I mean-
pulls her hands apart and, opens the gate a little bit.
But, so I was we were talking about how the Thane government works and how the church building is 500 years old. I say this with wow. So we were talking about how it's interesting that this is so old and it's the oldest part of the city. Then I was telling them about the tours on Sunday, and then I also was telling them about how I sent a letter out to the Thane government to talk about meeting someone there. I explained this to Lushitana. I'm so sorry.
Lusitania was the first guard. You have not asked this guard's name.
Oh wait, what's your name? I'm sorry, I haven't asked.
The name's Vaderland.
Vaderland?
Vaderland. Maybe in some alternate universe there was a Star War and there was somebody named Darth Vader. Vader and then Land.
Land, okay. So yeah.
Roll persuasion. Hold up.
16.
16. Ooh, okay. The guard looks at you and says, "Now listen, Miss O'Connell, I'll let you in, and on account of your good behavior and whatnot, I will go easy on your friend Marin here. All right, so just
Okay.
go on in."
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
So we walk in together.
You walk in. The guard looks at you and says, "No. I gotta ask Marin some questions first. Figure out who Marin is. Just wait on the other side of this gate, all right?"
Okay. I turn to Marin and be like, I give them a thumbs up as in cool.
They give you an okay, but instead of using their index finger, they use their pinky, so it looks like this.
Okay.
And the gate closes behind you. What do you do?
I wait.
You wait about.
Can I hear what's going on?
Roll perception.
20, but not on die.
Holy shit. Okay.
It's
So
a
you
12, so,
you press your ear up against the gate of Thane, and you hear muffled conversation, or you hear Vaderland talking.
Mm-hmm.
They'll say, where did you say you were from? Okay, so, that doesn't really explain the way you look. I'm sorry, that was rude. I know, you're right. You're right. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. Now, listen, I do have a question. Maybe if, say for instance, I gave you a weapon that could kill somebody, and I told you to go in there and kill somebody, would you do it? Okay, yeah, no, I can't let you in, not at all. Yeah, you're right. I have known you for 12 years now. Go on in there. And the gates open up. Marin walks in, or Marin slides in, and looks at you, and they say, "I've done it."
Good job.
Yes. Now, where to?
Well, I guess I was gonna wait until the government contacted me on being able to go into church, but do you have any ideas?
Lucy, I think that you still might be holding something back.
Well, I did tell you about the big astral energy from the church.
Yes, but why is it that you came to find me?
Because you had the same astral energy. But, not as big, so I'm curious.
Are you just hunting astral people?
No.
Because if so, that's weird.
Yeah, that is weird, but that's not my intention.
Then what is your intention?
Curiosity?
Is Lucy trying to hide that she's looking for an astral conduit?
No.
Oh, okay.
Because they're the three things that a drunk person said. So, all I have to go off of is this coin that gives me some astral, information. So I thought maybe this person knows how to get to the astral plane. like, maybe if they want to go back to the astral plane, or, like, okay, so I say, maybe if you want to have, like, the option to go back to the astral plane, like, hey, maybe we could find out a way to go back there together or something.
She kind of looks down at the ground for a second and says, that might be a good idea.
Because, I mean, you want an adventure, but you should also be able to go back home whenever you want to.
Exactly. So, what do we do?
Well, I was going to wait till next Sunday to be able to go to the tour. Should we wait until next Sunday, or wait until the letter comes back? I don't know, because, government can have bureaucracy sometimes. Have you ever encountered bureaucracy?
No.
It's really annoying. I say it with a sad face. I don't know what to do.
What do you do, though?
Okay. I'm gonna talk out of character.
Okay.
Because I'm trying to figure out what to do.
Okay.
Because usually I have my friends here to help me.
That's the purpose of these sessions.
Okay. So I could either A, go back to the inn and get a room for both of us so we could wait until Sunday to do the tours, or / wait until we get a letter back from the government. But I have a feeling that might be a bad idea because it is a non-transparent government. So I don't know. Or B, we go up to the guards and Marin, sorry.
That's fine.
I put a flat this so I could stretch out the E, but it still doesn't work.
Merren.
Okay, Marin. Double R. Marin could do their magic. I'm guessing. Wait, I need to roll insight on how they already knew each other for 12 years.
Sure.
Insight is wit, so 16. No, wait, 15.
You figure some kind of magic happened there. You also, you thinking back on that, you realize you did not hear Marin's voice at all.
Oh, right. Right, because the conversation's in the head.
Yes. I should also mention you have not seen Marin's mouth open yet.
Right, but I'm not going to ask her about it because it's rude.
Hey, Marin, can you open your mouth?
I mean, I feel like there's a certain decency that you should have with other beings, and part of that is not questioning their physical appearance. It's like going up to the blue dwarf. Oh, hey, why are you blue? Like, that's just rude.
It is. So yeah, what do you do?
It's two options. Heckle the guards. Okay, I want to ask Marin if they want to wait till Sunday, or if they also want to talk to the guards and maybe...
Marin looks at you and says, they like look at you and then they look around and they get like really excited for a second and they say, alcohol.
Oh, you want some beer?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have money to buy some, or do you want me to buy you some?
I would love it if you would buy me some. I will be in your debt.
Okay. And as we're walking to the bar, I tell her about the weird jester thing, like I was earlier, like how weird it was, in a small talk way. But also it's like, yeah, there's always a new adventure in towns, kind of thing.
She looks at you with like a blank face, and then she like turns to a house and she just kind of like glares at it for a second, and she looks at you and she says, "Was it that one right there?"
Was it that house?
It was that house, yeah.
Yeah, I think...
As soon as you say yeah, she's gone.
Wait, where'd you go? I look sadly to the ground.
And then she reappears holding a glass of like something orange and wearing a jester hat. She looks at you and she says, "Now I am the god."
Nice. I mean, did you want to dress up as a jester for part of your adventure?
Yes.
It's a cool hat.
Thank you. I acquired it.
Is it the drink, what they were drinking?
Yes. Would you like some? I hear they call it Fago.
I don't know. I've never had it. Sometimes some people would drink weird drinks as part of their spiritual connection to something. I'm thinking about peyote or something.
The Fago cult of peyote.
So, like, you know how you sometimes have, so you do some, like, mushrooms and then some weird spiritual stuff happens? That's what Lucy's talking about. So
I know what you mean.
they're kind of iffy about it. It's like, so she says, I mean, I'll smell it and see, I'll look at it. Maybe I'll drink some, but, maybe I'll just look at it. A person's got to be cautious sometimes. You can't always drink unopened drinks. That's not safe,
She, looks at you and nods, and she unscrews the cap, and she hands you the jar.
I sniff it and look at it.
Go ahead and roll investigation.
It's int.
Mm-hmm.
11.
It smells citrusy. It bubbles a little bit.
Do I know any poisons of citrusy smell? Like bubbles.
Roll nature.
That's also whiz. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 7.
You are uncertain.
I take a small sip.
It's pretty refreshing. Tastes citrusy.
I hand it back to them.
She takes it and she says, "Is it good?"
Yeah, it's refreshing. Citrusy.
Good to hear. I will save this for later. And she takes it and just shoves it into her chest, and it disappears.
I don't question it. It would be rude.
She turns to you and she looks again and she says, "Alcohol."
Let's go.
The two of you go back to the left baboon. And you see... Fuck, what did I name her? Did you ask her name?
Yeah, her name was
Bergensfjord, right?
Fjord.
Bergensfjord.
Fjord.
Fjord.
Like the Nordic themes. Fjord.
She sees you walk in with the with the skeletal figure, and
Wait, Percy, imagine this. I walk in with a friendly face and a friendly smile, and then next to me is the skeletal building.
Roll persuasion.
Okay. Persuasion. No! It's 8.
Yeah, Lucy, you're gonna have to tell me who that is right now. She
It's
begins to go or walk backwards with her hand towards the wall, and she's going for something that's in a container.
It's my acquaintance, Meriden. They're also interested in finding out more about the Thing government. I was telling them about the tour I was telling you on Sunday. Yeah, on Sunday, and how I sent the letter. And then I was also telling them about the weird gestures, with the...
As you're explaining this, her face just kind of changes. She raises an eyebrow and looks at you, and she looks around and she looks confused, and then she looks directly at Marin. And
wait, is Marin still wearing the jester hat?
Yes, Marin is still wearing the jester hat. She looks at Marin, and then just kind of nods. But she still looks a little on edge, and she puts her hand back to her side.
We just wanted a drink. I wanted to get a drink, because I was telling them about how I came to the bar and there's some drinks here.
Yeah, sure.
Does the prospect of money sway them?
No.
Oh.
Well, yes. Well, at this point, no. At this point, saying that you want beer doesn't sway them. They're already calm. She looks at you guys, or at the two of you, and she just kind of looks at Marin with fear in her eyes, and then looks back at you, and she says, "Oh, what'll you be having then?"
Well, beer.
Right, the one. I'm sorry, this Marin is from the Astral Plane?
I can't hear it, right?
Correct. Bergensfjord turns around and pours out 2 glasses and hands out a hand again. She says, 10 gold.
I'll pay them 10 gold.
All right, she takes it. She looks at Hagenti, who is at this point passed out at the counter, and she looks at you two.
I was like, how much did I drink?
At about 5-6 pints, I reckon.
Wow, that's a lot of pints.
Yes, quite.
Oh, how much does the room cost here?
Just about. she like looks at you and she looks at Marin and she looks at you and she looks at
I was
Marin
like,
for a really
you're
long
right.
time.
I'm sorry. I look at Marin. It's like, do you also want a room, or do you think you'll be fine?
I do not sleep.
So do you want a room for yourself so you can just do what you want, or
I will
are you fine with
explore while I
sharing
wait.
a room? Okay.
Yeah. As Marin says, I will explore as you wait, or as I wait. Hagenty just kind of like pops up for a second. He like goes like, and then he like looks at you and he says, "Oh, Lucy, did you find? Oh yeah, you found something for the Astral Plane. That's for fucking sure.
You drink a lot of pints, friend.
You have bad." He takes a look at Marin and he like looks at her for a little while and she just kind of like looks back at him. And he like opens his mouth and out of it just kind of falls this weird, gross, really guttural language that sounds like the wailing of demons and the weeping of souls. It's a very rough thing to listen to. Bergensfjord is like super freaked out as well, but he says this thing in that language, and then for the first time you see Marin open her mouth, and she replies in that same language of like screams and fear and terror. What do you do?
I look at them like...
Hagenty looks back at you and he says,
What are you guys talking about?
Lucy, you got... Ooh, Lucy. Are you prepared to go on the most exciting journey of your life?
I mean, in a way, life is like that, isn't it?
I suppose so, but listen. Your friend here, there's something about her. I can tell, she is able to drive anything, like any kind of vehicle, like a bicycle, a tricycle, a quadricycle, a unicycle, a pentacycle.
That's a really cool skill to have.
Yes, like any of them, but even all the way to like big things like ships, and even like really big things like ships that can go to the Astral Plane.
Wow.
Yeah. So, listen, Lucy. If Samarius is really sending you, then I gotta...
Pause. Yes. Got it.
If Samarius is really sending you, and he contacted me, this is gotta be some serious shit, and I owe him a favor, so... Here's something I have to tell you. Ooh. Okay, this has been great, but I can't... this is important. And then he like takes his hand and he waves it in front of his head, and you see him like instantly like pull himself together and sober up, and he looks at you and he says, "Now, Lucy, if you're going to the Astral Plane to figure out what happened, you're going to need to know a few things. Number one, the Astral Plane is dangerous for people like you, mortals."
Dangerous to mortals. Are you saying that I need to be non-mortal to go up there?
That is one thing you could do, yes. Well, okay. I have no idea how you could do that, but what I'm
Need
saying is...
to be immortal or somehow non-mortal. Okay.
What I'm saying is one of two things. Firstly, you're gonna need... Well, here's the thing. We can do one of two things. Either, number one, we can go back to the first thing, which is you get like a hula hoop and a prism and her, and he points to Marin, and then we just like put you in the hoop and then boom, you're there by yourself. What I would recommend is that Marin and I build a ship.
Oh, cool.
And you build a crew.
A crew?
Yes.
Like a normal crew?
Like a crew that is capable of fighting things in the Astral Plane.
You should ask Marin if they want to build a ship. I don't want to, impose on Marin if they don't want to build a ship. I turned to Marin and asked, do you want to build a ship to, go to this adventure to the Astral Plane?
You hear a voice in your head that just says, adventure! And home.
So
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Hagenty looks back at you and he continues. Now, the ship is going to take a while to build. We're thinking about 2 weeks. This thing will be massive. And the only reason I'm doing this is because I owe him a favor. So, oh god, I said his name. Oh, he'll kill me for that.
I just won't repeat it to him.
Good. Don't. Anyway, it'll take a while for us to build this thing. And while we're doing that, you need to find capable people.
So capable fighters.
Yes.
Do you have any recommendations on specific skills I should look for?
Anyone that can do magic. Anyone that can carry a blade well. Maybe even someone that's from the Astral Plane themselves. Aside from Marin here.
Okay, well, do we have to be in this town to do this? Or could we leave?
Well, I'll be building it here. I've got a little workshop I can take it to.
Oh, I have a quick question. I sent a letter to the Thane government asking if they knew any connections to the seer.
Yeah, no, that's probably not gonna go anywhere.
Oh, so they probably burned it?
You ever hear of bureaucracy?
Okay.